In Sonic Frontiers, we come across a wide range of incredibly powerful enemies, but none are more powerful than the Titan robots. The Titan robots are these giant, menacing robots that Sonic stands no chance against at all unless he fights them as Super Sonic. So we see quite a bit of Super Sonic in this game. Entangling with these super powerful foes, the game does a brilliant job in making Super Sonic feel great again. But which one of these Super Sonic boss fights was the best of the bunch? This is Blazed Apples, and these are the Super Sonic boss fights in Sonic Frontiers, ranked from worst to best. And if you want to check out those fights for yourself, then make sure you check out this video as well.
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog. Make sure that you leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel, or else.
Number 5. The End. Whether you're playing this game on normal mode like I first did with the glorified quick time events, or on hard mode like other folks did who wanna test their gunslinging skills, I think it's universally agreed upon that Sonic Frontiers, while an amazing game, deserved a better final boss than a giant rock. I mean, does this even really count as a supersonic boss fight when you barely have control over him during this fight? It's an underwhelming experience that feels incredibly rushed and almost laughable. The boss known as The End should have been the best of the bunch, but unfortunately it doesn't live up to the quality of its predecessors. All in all, a disappointing conclusion to an otherwise great game. Number 4. Supreme. Well, at least this one is an actual fight in which we fully control Super Sonic. Supreme has a really cool design, and he has a shotgun, I guess, and a bunch of drones that can shoot at you and knock you back and stuff. This would have been a perfectly serviceable boss fight if it was the first boss, but I feel like they could have done something more here, where maybe, for example, midway through the fight, it transforms into something even more difficult and terrifying. Instead, you beat it and then it leaves its vessel and it becomes The End, which is a giant rock. I don't even know what I was doing for the first half of this fight, but it was an okay but underwhelming experience. At least the soundtrack was good. Number 3. Wyvern. Okay, so now we get to the real good stuff. Wyvern might have had my favorite design of the bunch, honestly. It's this giant snake looking thing with mannerisms similar to that of a dragon. The fight itself was epic too, as it involves you flying through the sky, chasing after it while trying to dodge its attacks. This is the second boss fight in the game, and what I like most about this is that it isn't like any other boss fight in the game. So it gets extra points for uniqueness here for taking place in the air. Top off the high impact, high speed sky chase with a banger of a song like Breaking Through It All, and it makes up for a brilliant experience. Number 2. Night. This fight might be where Super Sonic looks the most raw in my opinion. Night has a sword and a shield, and Sonic makes sure to use these against him, including riding the shield like a surfboard and slicing him open with the sword. For much of this fight, I didn't really know what I was doing, and it took a while for me to figure it out, but it was still really fun and challenging and very enjoyable. Couple it with the awesome Find Your Flame OST and you'd have the best boss fights in the game, if it wasn't for Number 1. Giganto. Goosebumps. Absolute goosebumps. This boss fight might not just be the best and most hype boss fight in the entire game, but one of the best fights in the entire franchise. I was curious to see how they were going to handle Super Sonic in this game, and I don't think anything could have prepared me for the absolute hype train that this boss fight hit me with. The music, the way he moved, the presentation, everything about this fight was just absolutely incredible. Beating up a giant robot never felt so cool and satisfying. Controlling Super Sonic took a while for me to get used to, but once I did, he felt like an absolute powerhouse, an absolute beast that carried on into the other boss fights in the game as well. And then you get the unforgettable theme of Undefeatable playing as the fight goes on, and it's just heaven. Absolute perfection, and one of the greatest feelings I've ever experienced while gaming. Click the video on screen now to take you to some more Supersonic fun-filled content, and don't forget to like and subscribe as well.